transmitting from New York to London and back with the shortest path possible, using the speed of light in a vacuum as our transfer speed, we can achieve a latency as low as 43 milliseconds. Even if we took the shortest route possible with an optic fiber, which does not exist, this would take about 55 milliseconds, a 28% decrease in speed. The actual current return trip time for your average Joe is about 76 milliseconds, as we saw earlier, a 77% decrease in speed. This is a huge deal for the two financial markets working out of these cities. With millions of dollars being moved in fractions of a second, having a lower latency would provide a massive advantage in capitalizing on price swings. In fact, it wouldn't be the first time a communications company has made a massive investment to specifically serve these groups. The Hibernian Express cable is a privately owned optic cable that is currently the lowest latency connection between the NY4 data center in Syracuse, New Jersey and the LD4 data center in Slough, England at just 59.95 milliseconds, 39.4% slower than our best time with Starlink. The previous best time was held by the AC1 cable at 65 milliseconds. At a cost of $300 million, this 5 millisecond increase in speed was justified to just connect across the Atlantic. Imagine how much these time-sensitive industries will be willing to pay for a 17 millisecond increase in speed. It becomes even more valuable when you realize this time differential increases with increased transmission distance. New York to London is a relatively short distance. The improvements would be even more pronounced for a London to Singapore transmission. For every additional kilometer we travel, the potential gains in speed increase rapidly. But SpaceX aren't just planning on serving this super fast internet to some customers. They primarily advertise this system as a way to connect every human on this planet to the internet, and they should have plenty of bandwidth left over to serve these people. Although the internet has been one of the fastest growing technologies in human history, by the end of 2019, more than half the world's population will still be offline. Users will connect to this internet using a Starlink terminal, which will cost around $200 each. This will still be far outside the purchasing power of many third world citizens, but it's a start, and vastly cheaper than similar currently available receivers like the Chimera version at a price of $30,000. Elon Musk says that these will be flat enough to fit onto the roof of a car and other vehicles like ships and aeroplanes. This will allow Starlink to compete with traditional internet providers. It's estimated that moving the US from a 4G to a 5G wireless connection will cost around $150 billion in fiber optic cabling alone over the next 7 years. SpaceX plan to complete their entire Starlink project for as little as $10 billion. Each Starlink satellite cost around $300,000, which is already a massive cut in cost for communication satellites. SpaceX are also saving on launch costs as they are launching on their own Falcon 9 rockets, something no other satellite manufacturer has. If everything goes to plan, Starlink is estimated to generate $30 billion to $50 billion in revenue each year on the back of premium stock exchange memberships, demolishing their current annual revenue of around $3 billion. And this is a vital part of Elon Musk's long-term goals. The money generated from Starlink will mean SpaceX will have vastly more funding than NASA, which could go on to fund research and development of new rockets and the technologies needed to monetize lunar and Martian colonies. For now, the project is simply aiming to connect the world even more and potentially open avenues for education for third world countries that do not have adequate connections to the internet. Widely available internet will help solve this problem, and platforms